Okay, the second thing that we needed to fix on our Avanti project is the throttle shaft in this carburetor. So I've already gone ahead and taken the carburetor off the engine. There's nothing overly difficult or spectacular about removing the carburetor. So the next step we need to do is to separate the base plate from the body of the carburetor, because we need to remove the throttle shaft from the base plate and install some bushings. So there's a couple of screws that go down from the top that go all the way down into the base plate. We can remove those. And we got two screws here. Oh, these weren't even tight. Wow, they were pretty loose. This one was anyhow. Yeah, that one wasn't very tight either. I'm hoping that this gasket between the base plate and the body doesn't tear at all. And it looks like it's going to come apart really nice. So you can see that just lifts off the body. And we just have to remove that from the plunger for the accelerator pump. So now we've got our base plate. We'll go ahead and take this off so that it doesn't get lost. And the reason we got to take this apart is because of this. As you can see, that movement, all that movement in the shaft is just not good. Both ends are wore out. So we've got a kit that I bought from the Jet Performance Company, and it comes with a reamer. So we can get this out of here. Comes with this reamer tool, and what this will do was we're going to take this shaft out, and we're going to enlarge those bores with this reamer, and then you install these brass bushings, which will bring the size of the bore for the throttle shaft back to where it should be, and there'll be no play and no vacuum leak there. So what we need to do is remove these screws that hold the primary throttle blades in place, and hope they don't break off and they just come out, because sometimes they are peened over so that they do not work themselves out over time and end up getting sucked down inside the engine, which would be not a very good thing to happen, although these screws are small enough that probably wouldn't cause very much, if any, damage. But then again, you never know. It's always good not to have screws and bolts go down inside your engine. I'm going to mark these so that they go back on the same sides, and this is the passenger side, this is the driver's side throttle blade. Now, our kit that I bought, it's a nice little kit. It comes with enough bushings to do a few carburetors, and it comes with new screws to put in throttle blades also through there. Alright, so we've got a screw on the end of this shaft. We'll remove that screw. It's got clips over there and that on there like that. Okay. This is our fast idle set screw, setting the fast idle speed. Alright. Well, it appears that the only way to get this shaft to come out is you got to take both shafts out. Okay, let's see. We've got a sort of a spring clip here. No. Alright, so I need to wind that tension back up on that spring before putting this other mess back in. Now we can get that piece out of there. Put our stack of springs there. So we don't need to remove this. And now our shaft comes out. Alright. Now the shaft itself shows some wear on it, but there's no, it's not grooved. So it's just shiny where it rides at. It didn't have any sort of a groove in it where it's worn down. All the wear happens in the plate, the base plate, because it's aluminum. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to take this reamer and we're going to enlarge. Our holes don't need to be enlarged. Oh boy. Did I get the wrong kit? Maybe I got the wrong kit. I better check the bushings. Huh. Well, these already fit on the shaft. And our holes in the base plate are already enlarged past the size of this reamer. So we don't need to ream this out. Going to take a small hammer and now that did deform the end of that bushing just a little bit, but I can work all that out with a small file. Now if you look here, you can see from installing this, getting it seated down in there, I just mushroomed over that edge a little bit, so I'm just going to take a round file and just file that out where it's smooth again and round. That's pretty good there. I like that. And that shaft does not move in there at all. No movement in that bore now at all. And that'll tighten everything up and eliminate our vacuum leaks that we had on each side, so we can get this to idle out just that much smoother. Alright, I cleaned up my throttle shaft on the wire wheel on my grinder just to give it a little, make sure there were no burrs on it, make sure everything is nice and smooth and clean. We're going to go ahead and spray some dry lube, dry looby dooby. Put some in here on our bushings. Put some on our shaft. Let's set up for a second. That dries up on there. Oh yeah. That's nice and smooth. And no movement. Nice smooth operation and no movement. So go ahead and install our assembly here. That is our spring goes on here like this. Get our screw started. Comes around there like that. Tight. Alright, got that back together. Alright, got our throttles. Now we just need to reinstall our two throttle blades. Bit of an issue here. Alright, got a little bit of a problem. My shaft is not centered up where it needs to be. And I see why. Okay, let's see if I can show you this. If you can see this or not, these holes in that blade, the holes that attach the blade to the shaft are not centered in the holes, where the threaded part is not centered in the hole. So that means that the entire shaft is too far that way. And now if you look here, you can see where that bushing protrudes out of the end of the base plate. So what I need to do is take that shaft back out again. I may be able to do it with just taking this end off, but I need to grind down that brass that is sticking out of the throttle body plate to allow the shaft to go that way or this way, whichever way it needs to go. needs to go. Why does it need to go that way more? No, it needs to go that way. So yeah. So that'll allow it to shift that way just that little bit. So let me take off this assembly here. Just going to use a die grinder real quick. Alright, now we can put this mess back together. Oh yeah, that's nice. Alright, now let's see how these fit in here. Oh yeah. Yep. That's what it needed. Okay, show you this again. As you can see, now our threaded holes are centered up with the holes in the throttle blade, so everything will fit nice, move nice and smooth. Alright, so we're going to put our screws in our throttle blades. A little bit of red Loctite on these screws. You don't want these to fall out. Go ahead and get that there. Get that down in there. Just leave that loose till we get our second one started. Dab on the screw. Alright. Make sure everything works good still. Nice. Nice and free. Get those tight. Tight, but not too tight. You don't want to snap them off. That would be a big problem. Alright, so that we got our throttle back working again. We got our shaft nice and tight in there. Oh, that's going to take care of that vacuum leak. Yep. So now all we got to do is put our carburetor base back onto our body. Put the carburetor back on the car and start it up and see how it runs. But to see that, you got to watch another video, because I've still got to finish putting the fan switch together on this car. So thanks again for watching this. I hope it was informative and helpful to anyone who is having a problem with your Quadrajet carburetor with a vacuum leak. This is extremely common, that these shafts wear the bodies out and they need bushings put in them, because you'll never be able to get your mixture right. It's always going to have a slight misfire or a rough idle because it's sucking in air through the throttle shaft and it can't get the mixture right. So take the time, buy the kit. The kit is well worth the money. Like I said, I've got enough bushings here to do probably 10 more carburetors, and it doesn't take but maybe an hour to do this. So you could charge pretty good money if you're the only guy in town that can do it. You probably get $200, $300 a carburetor. Well, not 300. You could probably get 200 bucks a pop to do one of these, I would say. Depending on how much you do. If you take the carb off, maybe a little more. They bring the carb to you. About 200 bucks I would charge to do this for somebody that just brought me their carburetor. And yeah, I mean, this should take care of all of our idle problems. So again, thanks for watching. Again, if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please do so. I would greatly appreciate it. Leave me a like. Hit me up in the comments with any questions, and I'll try and answer them as best I can. And we'll see you again soon.